got Luffy ambition, king of the rappers.
Hey, what's up, gang? It's Murata Music with 3-piece TCG, Big Beard TCG, and 2D is a great D to get into the One Piece TCG, for we are having starter deck 15 through 20 released. Bars, 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 bars. Bars. No, seriously, guys, if you are a newcomer, this video is for you. If you are an experienced player, this video is for you. If you just want to see where the future of the game is going, again, the video is for you. So don't forget to smash that like button. Finger pop that subscribe, turn on the bell. Let me know, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong in these comments? Okay, so what we got for you guys here today is a bit of a meta anal list, and we got a tier list. So what I'm doing is I'll be going over starter deck 15 through 20, okay, as they come. Then we're going to take a look at that meta side and see what these decks become, okay? Then we're going to go into that tier list, all right? And we're going to see where they're landing when it's all said and done. Now, I always recommend you guys to play the deck that you are most happy with and you get the most fun out of, and you can play 10 games in a row at a regional, because, you know, we can all say we're all going to show up with Sakazuki to nationals, and fucking top 4 is going to be one Sakazuki, one Eno, and then a Zoro and a fucking red purple Luffy. Are you kidding me? So, you know what I'm saying? All bets are really off. You might see all the perfect matchups. You just want to play what you're comfortable playing and what you know you can play competently. All right. All that being said, another reason why this is such a great time for a new player to get into the game is because leaders like Edward Newgate, they were never part of a starter deck. These starter decks aren't being like re-released. You know, it's not a reprint, if you will. Edward was never part of a starter deck. Katakuri was never a leader who was part of a starter deck, etc. So a lot of you guys, this is going to be the first time you get to get into it the same time as us. You get a lot of good cards that are very playable, very needed cards in these decks, where, you know, some of them, I mean, look at this guy's even been banned before, you know, it's very good. So anyhow, that's why this is such an exciting time. And these new cards that are being introduced into these decks are going to revamp the starter decks as they are, the leaders as they are, and then you can also use these cards into other decks as well. So these are going to be great buys. You want to get 2 of them if you're interested in playing that color for sure. Okay, so now let's get into it. We got my guy, Edward Newgate. Now, when I got in, it was OP-03. Okay, so he had already been running amok and been, you know, this card had been banned. Moby Dick had been banned. You know, different cards have been restricted, etc. But so this is what we have. This is the list as we have it. Okay, so now this is all in Japanese right now, but you know, we click on the card, we get the explanation. Now, for a lot of you guys, this is going to be, you know, I'm going to spare you guys the como se dice, the redundancy of it all. So I'm going to just go over the leader. We're going to touch on the new cards, and then we'll kind of keep it moving, okay? So with Whitebeard, he's a 6K leader, and that is huge, okay? That has been huge in the past. At the end of your turn, add 1 card from the top of your life cards to your hand. He gets 6 life, though, so you get to see an additional card compared to other 5 life leaders, and 2 more cards compared to other 4 life leaders. It's a gimmick, if you will, that or play style that takes some getting used to. And yeah, we'll touch on his shit later. Okay. So anyways, you got, it looks, I figure you're going to get 4 of these, you know what I mean? 4 Josus, which is cool. That's the blocker you wanted. He came in OP-02. You get the blockers. You really want those blockers. You get this guy also from OP-02. What's that? Don Juan. All of your characters with type, including Onebeard, gain 1,000 power. That's lit. Why aren't we playing this guy more often? You may be a fool, but I still love you. And that's just if you have 3 or less life cards, you can't add a life card to your hand during this turn, which means your leader effect doesn't happen. This is your searcher. And I mean, look, guys, this is OP-03. Those other ones were OP-02. This is doing a lot of the collecting work for you. Another OP-03 card, another OP-03 card. These are, just big, strong vanillas. Another OP-03. This is going to put Arrested Dawn to your leader or one of your characters. That was a great blocker. Look at that. Look at that fucking kind of nutsack chin is that? Yeah, we got Slice and Dice Man, Atmos. If your leader is Edward, you cannot add. This is a new one. This is a new one right here. If your leader is Edward Newgate, now this is when attacking, you cannot add life cards to your hand using your own effects during his turn. So you play this guy out as soon as you can, or whenever you can, right? As soon as you attack with him, you're not adding life. So Edward becomes a little more stickier. You're not gaining that extra resource, which a lot of us really liked, but you're not taking life anymore. The reason why cards like this are a little more important now in this format is because there's a card named Pudding. It's a blue pudding, and it causes you to shuffle 4 cards back, or excuse me, your hand back into your deck, and then draw 5 cards. When you're at the end of the game and you've got 1 life or 0 life as Edward Newgate, and you had 12 cards in your hand and they play that shit on you and you go to fucking 5, you're cooked. That's it. And that's a big reason why this deck is having such a hard time surviving. But anyhow, okay, so another big card. Now this card goes big into Marco. But anyhow, that's another story. I'm no storyteller. 7 for 8. No counter value. On play, give up to 1 Rested Dawn card from your leader or one of your characters. Give up to 1 to your leader or one of your characters. And then activate main. You may rest this character. KO up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5,000 power or less. So he's basically getting rid of just about whatever the previous player played. Especially if he's attached to Marco, who Marco can take a 7 to 5, and then he can pop him. You know what I mean? So, yeah. All right, now we got King Do. King Do is a blocker, and let's see. Opponent's turn, when this character is KO'd by an effect, up to 1 of your leader gains plus 2,000 during this turn. So you have got to go through King Do the old-fashioned way. If you pop him on some, Lucci stuff or whatever, Edward becomes almost untouchable when he goes to 8K, because then they're going to have to spend, the average character is going to have to spend 3 Dawn just to even attack him, just to break even. And if you're at 10 and you go down to 7, you can't play Gecko Moria. You can't play a number of your threats. You can't play a number of your bigs. So you have to decide, are you going to swing, are you going to swing normal, or are we going to pop this guy and give the leader it's any leader, right? Yeah. It's we're going to give the leader plus 2K. So that's something to think about. This is a new card. This is a 2K Gordon, if you will, because on play, if your leader's type includes Whitebeard Pirates, give up to 1 of your opponent's minus 2,000 power, 1 of your opponent's characters during this turn, then add 1 card from the top of your life to your hand. Okay, so not a Gordon, but you get what I'm saying. He's there to minus and kind of work in conjunction with that Whitebeard card that we just passed. So, and he's a 2K, more than likely going to be used for 2K more often than not. Now we got the creme de la Edgar. This card will be seeing the most play in most decks, I believe. Red decks especially. If your leader type includes Whitebeard Pirates, this character gains Rush. I say most decks. It's within the Whitebeard and the Marco space. If this character would be removed from the field by opponent's effect, you may give this character minus 2,000 power this turn instead. So he would go from a 6K to a 4K, and he has Rush. He's already done his thing. You know what I mean? So he's a stickier body to get rid of. Also, he's a 1K counter, which is magnifique, because it feels like Zoro Rusher, Luffy Rusher. You get these rushers out there, and they ain't got no counter value, so they'll be bricks in your hand. Let's continue, and we're back to where we started. Okay, so this is gonna be your Whitebeard list. All right. Now I'm gonna go over. Let's go to the Whitebeard list first. Yes. Okay, so now we're going to look at what the Whitebeard list looks like in real life, okay? Like in the meta once we start playing and, we're ready to roll. Okay, so as you see, you got your leader, cool. We're running 4 Otama, running 4 Newgate. You're definitely going to want to see Newgate. You got your Josus, you got your Marcos, you got your Izos. All of these cards came in, well, these 3 cards had come into your starter deck. This card, this card, this card, all, we're looking pretty good as far as the starter deck, what it gets you. They're running 4 Portgas D-Ace, which is your rusher, and give 2 opponents minus 3,000 power during this turn. Then, if your leader has Whitebeards in its type, this character gains rush per turn. So, if you play him after you've played your 7-cost Whitebeard, you're going to be KOing somebody. This card didn't choose to run it though, or this deck doesn't run it. We got the Marcos, Portgas D-Ace, and Atmos. 1 copy of Silver's Rayleigh, Rad Beam, Whitebeard Pirates, Bad Manners, they call it Rebellious. Anyhow, and so the story that this deck is telling is we're doing some rushing, we're doing some blocking, and I would like to have more of this card in this deck, but anyhow, I'm gonna be real with you guys. This was one of 2 winning lists. One of 2 winning lists. One of fucking 2. And we'll get into why that is the way it is, but this is not the greener pasture that we were hoping for Whitebeard. It's not getting those results. I feel like blue is a big problem because of pudding, and everybody else seems to just be able to hang with Whitebeard like they could not before. So, I'm not going to put it in any tier just yet, but just understand this is one of 2 winning lists. All right, so now let's go on to the next one, shall we? Let's go to 16. All right. Okay. Gang, when I tell you this deck is almost unplayable, like what they did was they gave you all of the promos. First off, I don't know how many of this guy they gave you, but that's a very expensive card. I probably should have sold mine when I had it. But I mean, people are still going to want the champ. If you're a collector, you're going to want the championship edition, the one I have. If you are just trying to play the game, bro, you just saved yourself $45. I don't know what they're going for, but these used to be going for crazy amounts of money. Anyhow, a promo, Bartolomeo. End of your turn, you may rest this character set up to one of your film type cards as active other than Bartolomeo, which is great. First, I don't know why they put the leader down here, but let's talk about this leader. For those of you who don't know, she's a 5k leader, 5 life because she's mono green. Don 1 when attacking once per turn. Reveal 1 card from the top of your deck and add up to 1 film type card to your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck. Essentially, what this deck is going to do is make it so that you attack every turn and you draw a card every fucking turn. Every turn, you're going to get another card because there are now enough film cards for you to run all film and draw a card no matter what. That's why this leader is dope, because it's super consistent. And of course, you got cards like, I am invincible, and that'll give you, a double attack, or excuse me, you can attack twice. So anyways, we're getting a bunch of promo. There was when the Uda starter deck originally released earlier this year, there was different promos that you could get for competing, and it looks like they're giving everybody these promos that do various abilities. I'm just not going to get into every one of them. That's just too daggone much. We get a promo 8 for 10 Luffy. That's cool. We get the leader. Another what is this? Starter deck 11. This is a reprint. It's backlight. Yeah, backlight. We know what that does. K up to one of your opponent's rested cost 5 or less, or rest up to a 5 or less character. New Genesis. This card is essentially free because you look at the top 3, then place one at the bottom, set one of your Dawn as active. So yeah, it's free. I'm invincible. That's the card where you get to set your Uda leader as active. Effectively, this deck replaces Eustace Kid, the green Captain Kid. So here's the new card we're seeing, and this is in any green deck that's going to be ran. It's a 4-for-6, so we got vanilla stat line, but no counter. It's a 4-for-6 blocker. Activate main once per turn. You may trash one film type card from your hand. Give up to one rested one rested Dawn card to one of your leader or characters. I don't know. Pretty cool. I don't know. Then we've got Gordon, and missing half his cabeza. Let's see. On your opponent's attack, he's a blocker. No, nothing. But he does have a 1K counter. You may trash any number of music type cards from your hand. Your leader or one of your characters gains plus 1,000 during this battle for every card trashed. Yeah, dog. Not that. Okay, so now we got looks like Katakuri bussing ropes. And effect, if your leader has the film type and you have 6 or more rested cards, this character gains plus 2,000 power. Okay, that's pretty cool. So you have him out here for 3. You summon anybody on your 6 or more Dawn turn. You start using that that Dawn, and guess what? He goes up to 6, and now he's a viable attacker. Outside of that, he's a 1K counter. Pretty cool. This is the creme de la Edgar for this deck right here. Okay, 9 for 11. So we got the vanilla, power line, but no counter. Effect. Simple, straightforward, busted. On play, KO up to one of your opponent's rested characters. Anybody is getting popped. If you can hold off for one turn, let them play their 10. Let them swing for 12. Let them play their they can play out Gold D Roger. Swing with Gold D Roger. As long as he's rested. You play this guy out for 9 on your next turn. You're popping Gold D Roger. You're attaching one Dawn to your leader. You're swinging. You're searching. You're going to take a card. And you're ready to hoop. And this guy he's still standing up. Ready to swing the next turn. So it's it's an amazing card in my opinion. And then you got little Boot Scoot Luffy, and he's a new card, it looks like. If you have a rested Uda, this character gains plus 1,000 power. Yeah, that's just going to be a 2K, dog. Just going to be a 2K. Okay, so now let's find this Uda list. It's somewhere. And again, Uda, this is one of 2 lists for Uda. One of 2 lists, and this is the first place, so we went with this one. And we don't see 100% film representation, but we do see, a lot of the cards. I didn't think that card would make it. I guess it's just a cheap blocker, and it's film type. But yeah, so they're running this guy. What does he do? He's an OP-01. If you have 2 or more rested characters, draw 1 card. Okay, cool. So once you're done swinging, you put 1 Dawn on him, and you draw a card. Pretty cool. You got the Luffy package. The Luffy film package is just incredible. Incredible. Guys, back in the gap, I went on a 6-week win streak without losing 1 game when I was playing Eustace Captain Kid with this film package. And then even when I did lose, when that streak was busted, I still only lost 1 game that tournament. It was dope, and that was in the that started at 2 weeks before they banned Whitebeard, and then continued into as far as it could. They got Uta, they got horny ass Jones, which is just rest two opponents or Dawn. You got Rush, he's an 8K body, but you got to add that life card to your hand. Don't let him do it for free. And yeah, this is pretty much the list. You're going to see these because they want to be able to swing twice, guys. But it's not looking good for this deck since it's. Even with this addition, it's only 1 of 2 tournament finishes. So, or topping or winning, I should say. And guys, One Piece top decks, it doesn't keep track of who came in 3rd or 4th place, typically. But it does, it does show you who's winning at least. So some of these could be topping. And we say, hey, tops, you get invites, you get the cereal cards, you know what I'm saying? You get the t-shirt and the hat, All right, had to take a quick everything break, but now, like I was saying, this guy's gonna be the problem. OP-01's own, the Doffy Dofer Doflaminger, 5 life leader, 5k power, Dawn times 2, when attacking, rest 1 Dawn, reveal 1 card from the top of your deck. If that card is a 7 Warlords of the Sea type character with a cost of 4 or less, you may play that card rested. So that's what and it's just a simple little power up like that is caused all the ruckus that we see in today's meta. So for the newer guys like myself, I see that power up and I'm like, oh, he's like a reverse Gecko. Well, no, Gecko's the reverse him. He did it first, all right. And in my opinion, he's doing it better because you don times 2, and that's a perfect swing into the majority of the cast. Where Gecko dons 1 and has to have 2 up. Anyhow, I digest. So let's get into it. We get, I'm assuming we're going to get 4 of these because it's just a rare, which is dope. I guess I don't need to like spend any money on this one. I don't know. But for, again, great solid value for newcomers because this is a card you want. This is a card you want. It's got to be in the game. Overheat, another 01 card. This is just a big vanilla 4/6 1K. Was this another OP-02 card, a promotional card? Guys, this card used to be so effing expensive. On KO, place up to 1 character with a cost of 3 or less at the bottom of the owner's deck. I don't even know why it was so expensive, but motherfuckers were not getting any. They were not getting any results that I could see when this card was so expensive. But like, yo, whatever. 3 for 5, vanilla. Then we got this one. Add up to 1/7 Warlords of the Sea or Thriller Bark type character with a cost of 4 or less, other than Gecko Moria, from your trash to your hand. What you're looking to find is that Jinbei. Another great card. This helps you cycle your deck. Just a blocker. This is this is not the one I'm talking about, but draw 2 cards, place 1 from the top of your deck. Cool, cool, cool. This is your first starter deck 17 SR. He's like, come on, I got you. All right, so on play, you may return 1 of your characters to the owner's hand. If your leader has the 7 Warlords of the Sea type, return up to 1 character with a cost of 4 or less to the owner's hand. So this card is removing threats. It can bring resources back to your hand. It can do a lot of different things. It's a 4 for 5. We can find it on top of our deck. It's just another card. It just works great into this this little situation we got with Doffy Dofster. Another 17 starter deck 17. This is the 2K buggy. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Place them at the top or bottom. Oh, place them at the top of your deck in any order. Dope. So he's just gonna organize it real quick so that if you play him on turn 1, when you're on your second turn and you have 3 Dawn up, you can attach 2, you can swing, and your ability's gonna hit. So we like him, and he's a 2K. This card is BU Stead. 4 for 6, no counter. It's of course Warlord of the Sea and them Coochie Pirates. It's Boa Hancock. It's Luffy baby mama. Blocker, and on play, look at the top 3 cards of your deck and place them at the top or bottom of your deck in any order. Then give up to 1 rested Dawn card to 1 of your 7 Warlords of the Sea type leader or character cards. So when you play this card, she is helping you and assisting you. If you're like at if you're at 5 or 7, or if you're at a certain Dawn type, I forget off the top of my head, but she assists you and being able to use your leader ability and make sure that it hits. So we love this card. She's a swinger. She is a swinger. If you can't tell by the attire. She's a swinger, being a 6K. She can swing into any leader in the game without any Dawn investment, and require a reaction. And again, blocker, she sets it up. Now we got this guy. Now some people use him, some people don't. And man, I'm here for the argument on either side, honestly. We don't like Marshall D. Teach, but he's a 2 for 3, 1K counter. activate main once per turn. You may place one card from your hand at the top of your deck. Give up to 2 rested Dawn cards to your leader or one of your characters. Bro, you want to talk about using your ability for free. You know what I mean? This is assisting you. This is just you doing it for free. If you choose to go first and you play this card, you have 1 Dawn open and you've already spent 2 Dawn. You put 2 on your leader and you have 1 Dawn open. Guess what? You just landed your ability and you could have possibly gone wide. I mean, you might go 2 more cards wide. So big card, big card. I don't know why some people don't use it, but hey, whatever. I'm not the Doffy main. All right, now we can easily go and find him real quick and in a hurry because the Dofster has got, I got it pulled up right here, Jack. Come on, baby. Where you at? 25 wins. And I chose this one because it was top 16, 9-1 at a 800-man event in Japan. So I feel like Senor Gato, that was a very impressive showing. Very impressive showing. So, you know, let's take a look. Anytime you got 10 games to me, 9-1 and 10 and 6-0 and 6 is 10 games. I'm gonna be a little more like, okay, cool. This saw everything you could, right? All right, so you get the Mihawks that you've got in that starter deck. This is in your starter deck. This is in your starter deck. This is not in your starter deck. We like this card to, you know, fix the top 5 of your deck. Not in your starter deck, but they're only running 1. This is just a dick rider. This is one I was telling you that single-handedly just keeps Whitebeard at bay, dog. Edward Weevil, just a little cheap rare from EBO1. That's not a big investment. Not a big investment. Just an uncommon. Jinbei from 07. That's the SR that gets this all going. You're not going to find a Warlord package without this card. This is the new Warlord MVP card, the must-have, the mustiest must-have. That motherfucker do look musty as fuck too, right? Okay, so now we got Sen Goku. We're looking at the top 5. He's your searcher. This is the card from your starter deck. Great starter deck. A lot of starter deck representation. I mean, you buy 2 starter decks, guys, you're going to have 4, 4, 4, and you're just ready to roll. You know what I mean? A lot of us who've been playing this game for even if you've been playing this game for about a set or 2, you've probably acquired a lot of these cards. You know what I mean? Gravity Blade and the 1 Perfume Femur. Just to go, it is literally a better version of Diable Jambe because you get +2, so it replaces itself, and they can't activate blocker. So like, you know what I'm saying? And then you get to draw a card on trigger. So like, yeah, why not? Smoke if you got them. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is the toppest tiers. Okay, so now let's go to the next one. All right, so now we're going to 18. We are working our way through this, guys. Uh-oh. Your boy is back. That's right. The Monkey D. Luffy, man. I feel like this is the real Luffy right here. This is the real Luffy. Purple Luffy, activate main. You may add 1 card from the top of your life cards to your hand. If you have 0 or 3 or more Dawn cards on your field, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set it as active. I mean, if you've watched this channel for a second, you've seen me play Purple Luffy. Odds are. So let's get into this because I've definitely been playing very much a lot of Purple Luffy and Purple and all of its iterations with Luffy and just every Luffy deck. So okay, so we got the Usohachi. This is the one that we don't care as much about. This one doesn't make it. This one does not make the cut. And this is from 05. He's cool. He's a less cool version of the one I'm going to show you later. Robin was cool. I liked the idea of having this Robin and a Kuzo, whatever. It was a killer card, you know, the guy with the sickle. I forget. Because on KO, they KO a card. You know what I mean? And she plays out and can KO somebody. Anyways, she's not going to make the cut. Sorry. Okay, so now this character, the Senor Jinbei, the mustiest have in Seven Warlords, right? Anyhow, So he was pretty cool for a little while when we were experimenting at the beginning of Black Purple Luffy because, he can bring brought out by Luffy Taro for free. He's a blocker. And if you have 10 or more Dawn, he gains 7k on your opponent's turn. So he becomes that much harder to get rid of on the power side as far as swinging over. But, okay, cool. He's a cool card. I mean, if you don't have 4 of this card, you're going to be in luck, Jack, because you're going to need this card to ramp in anything. It's just a great ramp card. And the idea behind this is that if you play this card out, it actually saves you a life because you don't have to take a life to ramp every freaking game. You see what I'm saying? Or every turn, I mean. Because, you cheat one out, you swing with him should he survive. But this is also why I personally run Bond Clay instead, because he might make it. Bond Clay is an on-play effect. But he's great against Blackbeard, as you guys saw. Okay, this is just not gonna be played. Sorry, it's not gonna do it. This is the 2K I can't wait to get rid of. This is solely a 2K. No other, in no world would I ever spend 5 Dawn to give a rush to 4K. If it was 5 for 5, it would almost be like, yo, that's badass. But the fact that it's a 5 for 4, I got to spend 5 Dawn. Then I got to give you another 3 Dawn just to swing for 7. And then what do I do with the last 2 Dawn? Fucking stick it up my ass. Get out of here. Now this card I've always been interested in. Never actually put out. If you watch the all OP-09 stuff translated, I actually thought this card was a new one because I never fucked with it. 4 for 6 on play effect. If you have 8 or more Dawn cards, give up to 2 of your opponent's characters minus 2,000 power during this turn. So if you are in a spot where you're thinking about developing and or getting rid of the board, ¿por qué no los dos? Play this guy out, minus 2 to 2 different people, and then split the remaining 6 Dawn to swing over those 2 individuals, those 2 characters, and get them out of here. And then you got a 6K body for your troubles. So pretty cool, pretty cool. Thinking about it, but haven't done it. When you're at sea, you fight against pirates. This is our searcher card. It's going to look for the top 3. And it's going to find Straw Hat Kid or Heart, which is dope because it can find literally anything that's going to be in this deck list. So I don't know that I'm running a searcher like that, but yeah. Then we got this one. This one's actually a promo. And this is just, it's cool. It's not the one that resets, you know what I mean? But when you get to 10, you get to play this guy out and you have the biggest stick in the game until Goldie Roger comes out. So do with that what you will. I think we're getting close to the real shit. That's right. Now we're in the starter deck 18, baby. Okay, Uso Hachi, Uso Horny. On play, if you have 8 or more Dawn cards on your field, rest up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. Gang, this is what is that event card? That does the same damn thing. Hound's Tooth or Horn's Tooth, Sheep's Tooth. This is that, except for it's a 2K counter. So, yo, I will take it. I will gladly take it. 8 times out of 10, maybe 9 times out of 10, this card is just a 2K counter. But in a world where, we are using this guy every time for 2K or any other 2K just about every time before we use Uso Hachi, because we are holding on to him should they play a blocker that costs 5 or less. Who costs 5? Sabo, Borsellino, the majority of blockers are 5 or less. And, always, what's his name? Basil will always be the exception to just about every vacuum conversation I have. But anyways, we play this and we still got 7 Dawn to split up between our field and go for game. Magnifique. Okay, this Onami card. It's a blocker, 4 for 2, 1K counter. So it's here for a good time, not a long time, not at all. However, on play, if you have 8 or more Dawn cards on your field, trash 1 card from your hand and draw 2 cards. So it's a cheaper version of Queen, except for Queen can also swing for 6 and is a 6K body. This thing is leaving as soon as you actually want to turn this card sideways as soon as you can to get the value from it, because it being a 4 means it can get popped easily. It being a 2K count, 2K, power, it can easily get popped by anybody's like KO by ability or KO by power stuff. So yeah, we play this out, we get our value. The value in this card is the fact that it even pretends to be a blocker, but gets us rid of 1 card in our hand that we don't need and drawing 2 cards. We love the cycle. Speaking of drawing cards, Sangoro. This guy is going to be in everybody's list. It's going to make the cut. This guy is first team, bro. 5 for 6, 1K counter, and the ability is when attacking once per turn. If you have 8 or more Dawn cards on your field, just simply draw a card. Simply draw that card. We're cheating him out with Luffy Taro, and then the next turn, because if we're at 8 and we played Luffy, we go down 1. Even if we're at 7 Dawn and we go down 1, that means we're at 6. The next turn we're able to swing because we got 8, and he's gonna draw us a card. So I mean, like, I love him. Okay, next we got post-op Zoro. Post-op Zoro. I'd recognize those memories anywhere. Zoro Juro. On play. First off, 4 for 6. That's a big body. Big body. You got to do something about that body. Look on play. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Reveal up to 1 purple Straw Hat Crew type card and add it to your hand. Then place the rest at your bottom in any order. This card can search itself. This card can search any purple Straw Hat Crew type card. So anything. Your events, your characters. Doesn't matter their cost. Doesn't matter what they are. Doesn't matter if it's him. We love it. We love to search him because he's replacing himself. It's amazing. The creme de la Edgar of the deck is going to be the Luffy Taro, 7 for 8, on play, no counter, no drinks, can't do it. He's already given you so much value. On play, Dawn -1, play up to 1 purple Straw Hat Crew type character card with a cost of 5 or less from your hand. With this Luffy, we are able to cheat out him, cheat out him, cheat out him, cheat out him, cheat out him. I mean, anybody in this deck, especially in this starter deck for the newcomers, with the exception of this card and this card. The rest of these cards can be cheated out with Luffy. Do what you will with that, okay? Let's take it over to where we got with Luffy, or what we're seeing with Luffy. Okay, so real quick, Luffy has had not too many showings in the end, 7 total. And I know that is also, you got to remember, these are including the entirety of the OP-08 and then, of course, in this last month. But so let's see, with Luffy, it's a first place. This is a post release. So we're still looking very much like this top section is very much exactly what you would see in a purple Luffy, and then, the starter deck is out, right? You immediately see that we got 4, we got 8. There's no way 12. Yeah, so we got 4, 8, 12. 4 of those are the new Usohachi. Then we got the Sangoro, the Zoro Joro, and the Luffy Taro. And I mean, we are a big hoop city. There's a lot of there. Y'all have seen my deck list. I've made an OP-08 list, but it has not included these cards yet because I haven't made one that's like, like Homeboy Horatio Sands and fucking Step Brothers. We do strictly 80s Joel, strictly Billy Joel. Let's keep it in the 80s. This is a very strictly like 8.5 meta just until we get to December, which actually is a long time now that I think about it. So this will be the meta for a while, or this, it will be the meta for a while. So I sign off on this. This is a really good list. I would, of course, always put out I'm always looking to put Bond Clay in where places he doesn't belong. Giggity. But I do see why there's no Bond Clay in this juncture because, I mean, Luffy Toro can cheat out that, cheat out that, cheat out that. I don't know. It's just the cheetah girls, not everybody. But yeah. Okay, so let's make it on to the next one. 19. Okay. Now there's a lot of hype surrounding this one because people have been waiting for this leader to be good for a very long time, and he has just been completely like power crept by any and everything that has come out of Black. But how are we going to fix that? Well, I'll tell you this. Again, another leader. I think all these leaders, now that I'm thinking about it, were not in a starter deck with the exception of Uda. But yeah. So let's get his stuff done. I'll tell you how they fixed him up. Okay, so Dawn ×1 activate main once per turn. Give up to one of your opponent's characters -1 cost during this turn. Then, if there's a character with a cost of 0, this character gains 1,000 power during this turn. I think if he gained 1,000 power till the start of your next turn, that'd be pretty dope. I think if the cost was, if they were going to keep it 1,000 power during this turn, if he got somebody down to 1, I think that would have been more dope because getting somebody down to zero is pretty tough unless you're playing little shits like this. Anyways, I digest. So look, you're getting an O2 copy of Kobe. Kobe. And he's a good card. Trashing somebody 3 or less if you KO somebody, or trashing a card from your hand, he'll KO somebody 3 or less. This is, you gotta have it. Gotta have this card. This is the GOAT 2K and minusing. This is pretty cool. Just a blocker, just a vanilla. Give up 20 opponents -2 call. This isn't really played in anything that I've ever seen. Because you got to be win attacking. So he's too slow. You play him for 3. That's your second turn. You know what I'm saying? Right there. And then he's got to survive. And then you got to swing. And what are you going to swing into? Like fucking one of Zoro's like little zoo animals? Like, get out of here. I'm not going to spend Dawn on this shit. Get out of here. So whatever, man. Just an ugly vanilla. All right, Ice Age. This is the card that some people just want banned. Get it out of here. You know, 1 -5, dude. Again, OP-02. It's doing the work for you. It's doing the collecting for you. This is your OP-03 2K, and he can swing into things. He can't be KO'd in battle. Not bad. I mean, I felt like I saw him KO'd in battle, but that's another story. We got brand new. Why you acting brand new? This is like the #1 searcher. The 2 for 3. Man, I've swung so many games. You can win so many games back in the Sakazuki days, but he got fucking canceled. Diddy party attender. Okay, starter deck 19. Now we're getting into the new stuff. 6 for 8. Looks like a little young smoker. Look a little. We might call this one a little cigarette. On play, you may trash 1 Black Navy type card from your hand. Up to 2 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less cannot attack until the end of your opponent's next turn. Let's, no pun intended, smoke that over. You may trash a Navy card. Okay, so let's say we're getting rid of a brand new. Okay, we're just somebody. We're getting rid of that Don Quixote blocker that sucks. Cool. So we're gonna trash him. No, we're gonna trash that ugly vanilla. Sorry, ADHD done. Up to 2 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less cannot attack until the end of your opponent's next turn. Guys, if we have 4 Ice Ages and we were to play this card, we could minus down Katakuri, we could minus down Yamato, we could minus down a number of cast members, and they just can't attack. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Also, this art reminds me of like SNK art. Okay, is this guy also started 19? Okay, you may trash 2 Black Navy type cards from your hand. If your leader has the Navy type, draw 3 cards. So this works out in a world where you're trying to put cards in your trash anyways with that toolbox. I always think about, oh, I'm going to go through the toolbox. It's a really lame analogy, but I am a part of it. Okay, this is how we make this deck great again. 5 for 6, 1K counter. On play, if your leader is Smoker, If your leader is Smoker, give up to one of your opponent's characters -4 during this turn. Yo, -4 is a lot, especially when you're considering the fact that if you play this on curb, anything that they just put down is going to be minus to the ground. Now, activate main once per turn. If this character was played on this turn, you may trash up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 0. So we are able to minus down to the ground and then trash somebody that's 0. If you have this card, the on play effect doesn't work, but no, I was thinking something else. Anyhow, so yeah, 5 for 6. This is the MVP of this deck. It's just what makes this deck work and what gives this deck an advantage, and that it just does not lend itself to any other deck, which is pretty cool. This is an example of what we thought, a lot of people thought Black Maria would be or should be in the Kaido deck. You know, just make it leader lock specific. It works. So it's working in here, and I feel like this is a little bit of an experiment. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, this is the reason to buy this deck right here. Now we got this boobalicious Hina, 4 for 6. Activate Dawn 1, opponent's turn. This character gains +4 call, so it's going to become a lot harder to get rid of in the early and mid game. You may place one card from your trash at the bottom of your deck. Give up to one rested card to your leader or one of your characters. So she's going to assist your leader in proccing his ability for free. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And you can just do this once per turn. It's not even any cost. That's badass. Okay. Now we got the Garpster. Oh, Grandpa Garp. Oh, Grandpa Garp. Blocker, 3 for 4. He's got a 1K counter. Once per turn, you may place one card from your trash at the bottom of your deck. Give up to one of your opponent's characters -1 cost for the turn. That's cool. He just sits there and minuses people, you know? Talks down to them. Seems effective. All right, gang. As fun as this has been, Smoker's got 2. He's won twice. Twice since all of this has happened. Just twice. Here's the winning list. Looks impressive. Really does look impressive. 10 drop Kuzan, 2 of those. 4, 2. Let's see. Even running 2 of the Smoker. I always wanted to make this card work. Cannot be KO'd by card effects. Dawn ×1. Long as they're a character with 0 cost, it gains double attack. 5 for 7. Perfect swing. You get this out of your starter deck. Get this out of your starter deck. Get this out of your starter deck. You need Ishos. You need Sabos. Every black deck's going to run Sabos. You need some Geckos. This card helps you get rid of characters as well. Rebecca's, of course. You get all the Tashigis. You get them. So you're seeing that this one's going to be a little more... I don't know if costly is the word, because I don't know how much these... I know this card's costs quite a bit, and this one's gone up in price. But, you know, here and here, these aren't expensive cards. They shouldn't be too expensive. And then I think that's about... Oh, do we even have to go over the last one? Katakuri. Yep, another leader that was not in it, was never in a starter deck. Now they are. Here you go, guys. Dawn ×1. When attacking, look at the top card of your opponent's life cards. Your opponent's life cards. Place it at the top or bottom of life cards. Then this leader gains plus 1,000 power during this attack. You put 1 Dawn on this guy, and he's swinging for 7. It's that fucking real. Not only that, but now you can fix your triggers. Fun fact about Charlotte Katakuri. This is the first deck that I actually ever touched and played with. My good brother Ben, one of the guys I started this whole little 3-piece. Me, him, and George, they were the guys that got me into it. Well, you know, Ben especially. He let me play this, and he played his Navy, and I was able to win just doing yellow stuff, you know what I mean? But seeing all the cards, everything's holographic. I was like, yo, this is what sold me on it. So yes, I was a Katakuri player for a while, and then we moved on from that. But okay, so what you gonna get in here? You're gonna get some OP-03 vanilla. This is just a decent blocker. This card's used in some things. OP-03 rare. I'm getting actually nostalgic just looking at these cards. It's only been a year since I bought them, but yeah, man, this is pretty cool. Let's see. You gotta have this card. You gotta have this card. This is doing so much work for you guys. You have no idea. Let's see. Okay, nothing new. That's good trigger. Okay. Just a good vanilla. Oh, wait. Hang on. Hang on. We're on to the new cards already, eh? Okay. 5 for 6, 1K counter. We love to see it. A blocker. All right. And once per turn, you may turn one card from the top of your life cards face up. Give up to one rested Don card to your leader or one of your characters. Oh, I thought it was a ramp situation for a second. I was about to fucking call a lawyer. Yo, okay. So he allows your leader to do their ability for free. So now if you're running this card, going first is not bad at all because you can play him and still use your leader ability and still swing for 7. That's tough. That's oppressive. Okay, let's keep it moving. This guy, he looks like he's having a good time. 4 for 5. Let's see. Plus 1K counter. Charlotte Cracker. Only half of me is offended by that name. Once per turn, if this character would be KO'd by an effect, you may trash one card from the top of your life cards instead. So he's just down to clown. He's just there. If you want to pop him, he's like, man, you know what? I'll trash this bitch ass life I don't want anyways. You know, I don't know. I wouldn't do it. Okay, now 3 for 3. This is a new 2K counter. I'm assuming we're going to look at the trigger because those are not stat lines. Look at up to one card from the top of your or your opponent's life cards and place it at the top or bottom of the life cards. Then add this card to your hand. So it's a free life manipulation, and then you get the 2K. Yeah, I'm going to assume that's included in everything. Ooh, we got an angry. She's like, she's got the Diddy party footage, dog. Oh man, all the baby oil. Let's see. 3 for 2, 1K counter on play. You may add one card from the top of your life cards to your hand. Okay. All right. Set up to one of your Big Mom Pirates type characters with the cost of 3 or less as active. I don't know why we would want to do that. Okay. Trigger. Rest up to one of your opponent's characters at the cost of 3 or less. I don't know why we would want to do that. I don't know. Okay. Big old memory mommy. 6 for 7. No counter. No drinks. Can't do it. On play, you may trash one card from your hand. Your opponent chooses one. Your opponent trashes 2 cards from their hand. Or they trash one card from the top of their life. Now, see, the way this reads is if you tell your opponent to trash one card from the top of your opponent's life cards, that, if I lawyer you, I'm like, yeah, okay, I will choose to trash the top card of my opponent's life cards. I think the wording's going to be different, I'm sure. There is the word they were looking for, I believe. But yeah, I think it's cool to get rid of their counter. I think this is like a anal eater, you know what I mean? Or like, again, a whitebeard eater. You know, just something to just get rid of 2 cards from their hand or a life card. I don't know. I'll tell you what, I like this because it's like they're losing or they're losing. You're either losing a life or you're losing 2 cards. I do like that. That is a I forget, a sadistic choice. Okay, and that is that, gang. After this, let's see. Hang on. And that is that, gang. All that's left now is to... Oh, we got to check him out. Sorry. And he is here. Okay, now, Katakuri. Let me tell you something about Katakuri. Katakuri racked up 12 wins. 12 wins with this buffoonery we got going on here. Katakuri went to work, dog. Okay, that's in your list. That's not, that's not, that's not, that's not, that's not, that's not, yes, not. So all this deck did was take this 2K counter and run with it. Do with that information what you will. So yeah, I don't, it's not, this may not be, if you're a yellow player, you're going to want to still get all these together and figure your life out. Quite a few cards. I mean, literally just 4 of those and 4 of those, and the rest is you're on your own. So whatever. Cost to play yellow. What can I say? With that being said, let's move it over to the quick and happening tier list. All right, gang. So we've gone over a lot of information, a lot of extensive study work, a lot of information and extensive study work. But now it's time to rank. And as you guys know, friends don't let friends eat McDonald's. That's number 1. Go to Memorial Herman and don't ever play Minecraft. Anyhow, so with all this being said, where do we fall in? Of course, we got best dick and format. Always a bridesmaid, never the bride. They won with what? My buddy Win, he referred to himself as a copehead. So we got copeheads now. And then there's just nothing. And then cucked here. Like, yo, what are you doing playing this deck? You just want to watch it get F'd in the A right in front of you. You want to hold its hand and look in its eyes as someone else satisfies it. You're into that. That's your business. No kink shames here. We just call it how we see it. So first and foremost, Whitebeard. Whitebeard is going to have to go straight to copeheads. Sorry, but it's going to have to go straight to copeheads for me personally. I find myself becoming a copium addict, copehead, coping, trying to make this deck work in my head and believing it can work out in the field. It can easily be in the they won with what, but it only won twice, dude. And I'm kind of like, yo, like, I think they finally killed Whitebeard. I think they finally killed Whitebeard. He's still standing, but there ain't nothing there no more, dog. I mean, the fact that it's not even about running into a bad leader, like a leader matchup. It's the fact that anybody who has the card pudding completely destroys you. Anybody who can ramp and get, bigger cards out faster than you destroys you. The life manipulation from yellow has become even harder to overcome. This deck is going to have trouble with Enel, who is a dirtbag, but is no longer the threat that it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Enel is definitely always a bridesmaid kind of deal. Maybe they won with what kind of deal. But yeah, copeheads. Sorry. Let's go to this one. I'm going to go ahead and say that this is one of always a bridesmaid. Always a bridesmaid because Katakuri had its time in 06 for sure, and it was oppressive, and it was even getting buckets in the face of one of the greatest band leaders of all time. But today, nothing much changes. I mean, you look at the list and, it's good. It's good. I'm not saying it's a bad deck, but will it be winning tournaments? I don't know. It's got a lot of obstacles to overcome. I don't see it, but it does have the numbers. It does have the numbers. I mean, it does have 12. It's the second most. But personally, the way I see the meta developing and the way I see things playing out, I don't think it's going to be just like, it won in the West, at least. I don't know. I could be wrong. Okay. Uda. I'm really torn between these two. I really am. I'm going to put it dead in the middle and see what it does. Let's see. They won with what? I'm going to do this. Wait, does that matter? Oh, I see. So it was going to go like that anyways. Uda, they won with what? I could give Uda they won with what? And I'll tell you why. Because Uda, even compared to this leader right here, Uda can go wide, can apply that pressure, does have that Shanks, does have some cards that, you know, are going to enable it to just take care of any and all threats and or nullify or block up. It's very consistent. I just know. Okay, Smoker. Now remember, Smoker's only got 2. I'm gonna have to put this comfortably, and they won with what? Just because while it does have the addition of como se dice, Tashigi, and you can throw Jacks in there, you can throw some other cards in there. I just don't see it outperforming the other black decks yet. That's just me. I don't know. It did level up from Copeheads though. We're leveling up from Copeheads. Straight, not even a conversation. Or not a debate, I should say. What this deck gains in this setting is just insane and almost needs no improvement, if any improvement, in 09. It just, you get those 2 starter decks and you're like fucking Jet Set Radio, dog. You're ready to roll. And it's got, you know, 25 wins to prove it. And that's just after it got that update, got that little patch update, and literally never looked back. Completely took over the format. Best. And then of course we got Luffy tier 0. No, it's playing. Luffy, put it right behind it. I'm gonna put it right behind it. Let me tell you why. Because with Luffy, I'm going to beat this guy. I'm going to beat that guy. I'm going to beat her. I'm going to beat him. And I'm going to beat Doffy too. That's right. Now, in all seriousness, Purple Luffy does get a lot of good cards. He goes from his swarm being a bunch of like 5K, maybe a little 5 and 6 here and there, to like big threats, you know, 8 and 6K threats in one turn after ramping up. I mean, it does get big. It does get bad. He does go hard in the paint. I think he's comfortably better than Katakuri. And while I do believe, obviously, the numbers are say another thing, I do believe that the Luffy players we have over here are going to clean up. They're going to do well. And that is about that for this list, gang. Don't forget to smash that like button, turn on the bell, finger pop that subscribe, go down in those comments. Let me know, what did I get right? What did I get wrong? What did you get that I missed? Love to hear from you. Guys, it's been a blast working with you guys, being able to converse and talk and all this stuff. I hope this has brought you some value. Watch me on 1.5 or maybe 2 speed. And I'm going to try and put some chapters in here for you guys so y'all can kind of get to what you want. But anyways, this has been Marauder Music with 3-piece TCG, big TCG, and I will catch you in the next one.
Flows like a faucet, swag dripping like a faucet. Dooney fixing, got Luffy ambition, king of the rappers, the mission. I see they got the lights, camera, but no action. They actually fiction.